going to do some crystals of Mabar, cartography. It looks like my chat window here went splat. Let's see if I can. Well, I gotta do this anyway, is check my signal, make sure I'm live. Check my signal, make sure I'm live. Sounds like it. And at the same time, I'm gonna do a pop out chat. And we'll just drop that over our little chat blip over here. So give me a second here to get all my gunk lined up. Now we'll be tippy-boo. There's that. How are we looking? Huh. I'm sure it'll pan out eventually once I rearrange my screens. Maybe. We'll get to it. Hold on. Let me putz around with stuff for a minute. Hey, I'm Phil Kearney. This is my stream. I do maps and D&D PDF design work and illustrations, and we design new mechanics here. We put them into a book and then we publish them on DMsGuild, and you can follow along the entire process. Today we are developing the map work for the Crystals of Mabar. It's an 8th level Eberron Adventure that will be publishing on DMsGuild as soon as we get everything done. Anticipating edits back from Stuart Bras on the 23rd of December, so I'll have a charming Christmas break for me to digest the edits and potentially get page layouts going as a Christmas gift to everybody, especially myself. That would be super freaking exciting, and that's how close we are to getting this stuff up and running. Jeez McCrow, that's super cool. So if you want to follow on the journey after we get all this, this is the book cover we've been working on, and hold on, there, maybe that'll make things work out. Okay, cool. There we go. Yeah, this is the book cover we've been working on. Crystals of Mabar. It's an 8th level adventure, an Eberron set in Karnath, which is an undead utilitarian military country that has these zones, these manifest zones that are basically like open portals that can lead into other planes, and Mabar is the plane of night and death. So the society where a manifest zone, society kind of grows around it, you know? So this place is just pockmarked with all these different manifest zones of just undeath and destruction and fear and horror. So naturally they figure out how can we make undead work for us, and they become very utilitarian about it. But so the adventure is set in that place inside of a manifest zone itself. And what does that arrow do? Oh, neat. Okay. And so let's see. I wanna get my screens here rearranged so that yeah, that should look good. There you go. Okay, cool. So we got 3 hours for us to play with this, and then I got to go offline a little bit. But I will be back tomorrow to work on this again in about 12 hours. In about 18 hours from now, I'll be back online for another 3 hours to continue working on this map or whichever one is next. And I've got fireplace schmutz on my face. That's what that is. I'm like, what the hell is I got going on? Anyway, we're happy with the line art at this point. So now we're just working on the coloring to go around. It's not nearly as important. I mean, we already have the black and white set for people that want to do a printout, so that's good to go. I just locked up already. Cheers. Yeah, here's the book cover. Hopefully it's got a bunch of, I wonder what all that's all about. That would compel you to check out the preview to find out more about what the hell is going on. But yeah, Drown Fort, shut that down. Let's open this back up again. Drown Fort. You are most welcome to ping me in the chat. I will lean in and see what you have to say, and it will be an opportunity for me to take a drink of coffee or actually it should probably be water at this point, but screw it. be welcome to shout out, say hi, like, subscribe. I do this daily, nearly daily. I have Sundays off, but nearly every day of the week I am either working on these cartography, or I'm doing interior illustrations, or I'm doing page layouts, or I'm just doing raw mechanical design work. Sometimes I'm building sample characters with the tools that we've built to show, to demonstrate how this stuff works. We always got something going on, and we certainly enjoy the company. That would be, of course, the royal we. I keep talking like there's a bunch of me here. It's like an army of nobody. This is me. Hey, guys. That is not jiving, so we're going to go with this. There we go. That jives. Kind of building out color here. I don't have any real method yet. I'm just trying to see what looks good. Once we figure out what actually looks good, we can hopefully grind it into like a 1 or 2 step process, so it's easy for us to duplicate for the cemetery and for the top side entrance that we'll be mapping after this as well. But yeah, we're supposed to be done by December 23rd so that we can receive the content that has been edited, so we can start doing page layouts, and we know how to break up the pages of the map to accommodate. The great thing about this is that we can manipulate the maps as illustrations inside of the PDF document to help whatever is necessary to help facilitate the DM to get what it is that we're talking about. So you don't need to have like we can have little vignettes of each room, and then have a page dedicated to each room. What's the conditions, what's the lighting, what can you see, what's the creatures in there, what's the likely responses, what's your hides like, all that stuff can be data that can be parsed out like as a run, like down the like if we're gonna do a landscape style like this for fitting on your screen, I'm thinking there's 3 columns. I'm thinking down this column can be like conditions of the environment that you're in. You'll have the little vignette of whatever room or environment it is that you're in. You can have a description of the room here right above it, and then here it can have risks and challenges, hazards and challenges that you would face in it. So hopefully it can be control panel style for the DM that you can just flip through the document and see wherever you are, and like have like a little thing down here that shows where this room sits inside the larger environment. So when you're in this room, you can click to the larger environment. It'll wind you back up to the front of this section, and then you can select the next room. I can hyperlink each of these rooms. So when you mouse over a room, you can have the option to click on it. When you click on it, it'll take you to the page, the specific page that you want to be on. To see the close-up of that specific room. So you can chain them together. You can either scroll down and go to the next room that would be physically located next to this one, or just click on the map to go back. And anyway, you can jump about. And then at the beginning of this dungeon, you can jump out to which act. So we can keep panning out and panning into different areas inside of the adventure, real similarly to how you zoom in and out of the combat mechanics I've been developing in the other product that we've been putting out. So it's really consistent and cool. Absolutely looking forward to building this book. It is going to be badass. I spec. I mean, just like the visuals of it. I think, God willing, if I do this right, it's just the book itself will be a nice piece of art, and then of course just having a kick-ass adventure sitting inside of it is at that point gravy. So we're just trying to make cool looking shit, stuff that people want to play, stuff that people want to just get involved with, and if the formatting turns out well and the adventure is received well, then it's something that I can potentially replicate and get other people on board to help collapse a time frame in the future. I can stay in Eberron because that's a heavily underserved setting that needs more professional adventure content in it, and I would like to step forward as tribute and proclaim humbly that I am that professional. So My playtesters love it. I had like maybe 16 playtesters come through here. They all dug it. So that's cool. The different parts of the adventure, they all work. That's cool. And since it's a PDF, if I find at some point like I need to express this a different way, I can just rebuild whatever section needs to be rebuilt and then re-upload it. Like, here's the revisions that were made. That's the glory of a PDF. And since it is a PDF, it's going to hopefully be properly built so that a DM can just have it on their tablet as a side jockey to the tabletop space when you're in neat space with your friends, or just using the VTT assets that we can provide for it in the zip file. Both of them, either way. It's have the tablet be a control panel for the adventure that the DM can just hold. You can have like your dice roller on there, and then you can have the PDF that you can flip through, and you know, it's. I think it's a good mix of a tech and meat. So anyway, randoming on. Yeah, but there's literally 10 billion of these different random adventures that you can generate, and this was generated from a stack of random results in the adventure generator that started all of this. And y'all that have been around for a while know this story, so I won't dwell on it too long. But basically, it was I'm making this random adventure generator, and I needed to figure out how can I explain how these tools work that I'm building. So it just became obvious. Well, I should just actually make an adventure using these tools, and then present it. And if people think the adventure is cool, they'll know that this is what the adventure toolkit is designed to build. So they're like, oh, cool, I'm on board with that. And then, you know, you got people building adventures with you and shit. So I can hire on a crew, like a cartographer and like 2 writers, and I can do the edits, and I can help with development, and I can do like cover art and interior artwork and the layout and stuff. So if we know that these things sell and people like them, then we can set ourselves up so that we can just we can chain them out. So. And then bundle the kit with it, and then we can have like a growing expanse of Eberron content, like Eberron campaign material that you can just feed into. Like, hey, here's another Eberron adventure. That one hooks up with this one, like this, and this. Like, here's another Eberron adventure. That one hooks up with it, with your Eberron campaign. This. That'd be really cool. Excuse me. I got a cough, and I got my hands on the keyboard, so I'm sitting here coughing into my screen. Yeah. And like everything else I do, it'll be 100% preview, so you can see the full adventure front to end, just to see, you know, because it's something I want you to look at. But the value then, of course, added to that is the zip file that comes with it. That has all the token assets, all these map assets in color and black and white. And these things will be embedded into the PDF, so you'll be able to see it. But it's not necessarily convenient to actually run the adventure without actually having all the assets, you know, available to you. So that's where I get my money. I'll show you everything, but I appreciate the money, and I'll make it convenient for you to actually use it if you do. But hopefully after you read it front to back, you're like, yeah, that's actually really cool. I want the assets to this. Like, as soon as you say I want the assets to this, that's a sale. So it's easy to show the full content to what you have, and then include assets with it, so that people are like, yeah, that's really neat. I want those assets. I will now buy your book. So I think there's a lot of value there. You know, in general. Yeah, Lindsay. Look, coffee. Everyone's studying video games. Oh, okay, gotcha. Not an actual D&D yet. Right on. It's like, you know, it's like any other D&D campaign. The results will mostly hinge on the quality of the DM. Dude, thanks for the bundle purchase earlier today. I will tell you this right now. If you go to the D&D Beyond link down below, and you click on that, it takes you to the 35% off bundle. If you click on the Core Mechanics book, the 5-color mana spell point variant rule Core Mechanics, in the description, there is a URL to a YouTube video of me DMing a 6th level Eberron adventure using the 5-color mana system, and that adventure, Temple of the Frozen Heart, that adventure I built using this same toolkit that I built this adventure with, and that tool, the Frozen Heart adventure, is going to be the next adventure that I build after this one's complete. So if you want to get a look at, A, my DMing style, B, the color mana system at work, and then C, like my take on Eberron in general. Eberron's a kick-ass campaign, man. I love Eberron. So it's 2 times 3-hour playtest sessions. So 6 hours total with a crew called Babies with Knives. They just grab random supplements or tabletop games, contact the creator, and say, hey, do you want to run a one-shot so we can all see what you intended for this? And so I saw this channel just randomly, and I reached out and was like, hey, do you take volunteers? And like, yeah, we're always looking for content. So like, here's my bloody plot. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. So they were happy to jump me on, and it was the first time they had ever played in Eberron, and some of them hadn't played 5e before. So my color mana system was, for some of them, their first touch of 5e. So I completely tainted their opinion. But at the end of it, they're like, yeah, Eberron's just, it's just, I'm not an MTG guy. I get the mana system, but I think my biggest pull away from all this is that I want more Eberron. That's awesome. So, yeah, that was really encouraging. But yeah, some of them were MTG enthusiasts. So like, oh yeah, this is really cool. I think you should make it more robust. And over the past 3 years, I have. So once I rebuild once D&D comes out, once that publishes, I'm going to rebuild all the mana books to get up to date with all the campaign settings that have been released at that point, and to use the new 6e sensibilities so that it stays active and relevant to where Wizards of the Coast is going, because they're eventually going to get into more MTG stuff. There's just too much synergy there for them not to. So I just want to make sure I stay current with whatever the rules are at the time. So that it's always available for when those new settings come out. I may move on to my own thing eventually. Yeah, man, it's fun. I think it's fun anyway. So anyway, they're cool guys though. They're all like the people that volunteer are either hosts of the channel, so they're motivated, or they're other designers that have also been on the show before, and they love the experience so much that they just kind of chip in for pickup games. Like they're always having a pickup game of some sort. So if you don't know what the system is, you're just checking shit out. And it's like if you're a third party like outside the 5e game space, just running across random RPGs that you can build into, it's a good way to go. So Babies with Knives is a kick-ass team. Excuse me. Shout out to Dice Try. His YouTube channel just cleared 15,000 subscribers. Dice Try, he creates color theory videos about like what does it mean to be a what does it mean to be a D&D hero when you are primarily devoted to a black psychology. Like the color wheel of like white, blue, black, red, green. Like if you are a black hero, what is a blue-black hero? Like, what does Dimir look like when you're nothing but blue-black magic? Or, like, what does a Rakdos hero look like, which is dedicated to red-black magic? Like, what does that? Black normally means evil, demonology, corruption, controlling. But in the positive light, like in positive energy, It's about defining your defining your sovereign space, respecting others or treating others the way that you would yourself would want to be treated. Like the you could say like the Old Testament is a heavy white black deck, where it's about psychology, like having absolute law and punishing those that violate those laws, and at the same time helping the reader to understand what their own space is supposed to be and how are they supposed to relate to the world, and what should their expectations be from others around them if they behave a certain way. And having predictable results from people in your environment is a very black energy idea, in my opinion. So his channel is all about the philosophy behind the different colors and how they express themselves in role-playing games and video games, etc., yada yada. And yeah, he just cleared 15,000 subscribers, so he's just freaking rocking it, man. He's doing great. Like if he just ramps up a little bit more, he can be thinking about, career, which is exciting as hell. It's rough being in Seattle. It's a very high dollar value to live here. Like, cost of living is crazy high. Also has amazing mass transit, and since I'm blind, I need the mass transit because I can't drive, and I don't want to pay Uber all the time. That's just expensive. Like, how am I supposed to quit my day job and be an artist full time if I'm taking Uber everywhere? It's kind of a trap, honestly. But I mean, hey, it's legit. It's I can eventually build up enough momentum with like Kickstarters and streams and Patreon and book sales, get a couple different streams of income happening, and I could be doing this 10 hours a day, get sick with it. Then I could easily be working 2 or 3 projects at a time. I can just, dedicate 2 hours to this project, 2 hours to this project, 2 hours to this project, have one in layouts, have another one in art design, and have another one in development phase, and then have a couple hours, and then be able to have 1 or 2 sessions a week for playtesting teams consistently, so I'm getting my D&D fixes in while I'm actually, getting my playtest on, so that I can back up the stuff that I'm doing, and then I'd have to get really serious about everything, like have $1, like do a pay to play test sort of thing maybe, or like have Patreon support. Like if you're a Patreon supporter, you can be on the playtest team if you want, and then get serious about converting like the shark piece I'm doing right now. That's obviously good stock art fodder for me to put out there and sell for like $3 or whatever, and I've got like 200 of them. I could put them out there super cheap and just start ramping out money, but that's such a business thing. I don't want to get into that business space. I want to stay away from this business space as long as I can. So right now I'm kind of hiding inside of my subscriber follower YouTube count, because I don't have to really get serious about quitting my day job until I get like around 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, Like at that point, I can start like doing Kickstarter stuff, and it's probably going to succeed just because people like the cut of my jib, because they subscribe to me. That's kind of the inference there. Then I can get serious about putting out stock art and having a consistent pipeline for book production and hiring on people and buffing up the Patreon and starting to disengage from DMsGuild, so that I'm keeping a significantly higher amount of revenue that I create for myself. All that blah blah. Never been to Seattle, but it sounds like a cool city. It's gorgeous. It is freaking gorgeous here. Highly recommend it. The water is amazing. It's on a Puget is an inlet of water that cleaves pretty deep inland. That's deep enough for like seafaring vessels. So like we get Orca and stuff come into the Puget sorry, not Puget, the Sound, to get shelter from the sea, and the shitload of salmon that swim all around here. It makes for really good eats. There's crab that you can go out just to the shore in your shorts and barefoot. You can go out and you can do crab hunting. It's pretty cool, man. It is pretty cool. And of course, you get the mass transit. It's heavy, so you can get around anywhere that you want in the metro region. It's like 3 million people around here, and you can get to any of them within an hour on a bus. So it's pretty tight. Amazing food. The sushi is ridiculously fresh. So if you're a sushi fan, oh my god, it's insane here. There's a crap load of different cultures that run into each other all the time. So there's a lot of interesting diversity. You can hear 4 or 5 languages anytime you walk down the street in downtown Seattle. It's pretty nice. It feels good. But it's got that same friendly but not nice, you know, like they'll feel bad that your tire's broken down, but they won't get out to help you. They'll just drive by. Or like, hey, we should barbecue sometimes, means you'll never hear from them again. That's like a signal that they like the idea of being your friend, but they don't want to put in the effort. It's not convenient. Or like if you keep showing up to the same spot, it's like super bad. You have to keep showing up to the same spot over and over again. Like you know that guy's gonna be there at 5 o'clock. So you gotta show up at 5 o'clock at that time. And if you do that often enough, then he'll start considering you as a friend, you know? Otherwise you're just a neat idea of something, like you're a neat idea of a friend. But you're gonna have to do all the work. Unless you just conveniently show up to the same place frequently. And it's like, oh, this took 0 effort on both of our parts. This is pretty natural. It's the laziest of friendship building. It's horrible. And I'm a lazy friend builder too. My strategy used to be find people that are really good at making friends and be their best fucking friend. Like really sink investment into people that know how to build people. Like I value those people highly. And I like backing those type of people up because I just kind of end up in the circles with them. I didn't know this. I mean, I've always done this, but I've only really become self-aware of it in the past, like maybe 5 or 6 years. So it makes me wonder, like, how legitimate are all the relationships I'm in? But the answer is they're legitimate because I put in the work. Like, regardless of what my motives are, the results are honestly, it's like I show up and help you move. And I don't even ask for pizza and beer. I'll watch your dog for you, you know, all that crap. Like I do those things. This is a social commitment that we're making almost. It kind of is transactional, but when you're just volunteering shit because you know it's going to come around, it's like a super loose tab. It's not really transactional anymore. It's just kind of like an open tab of let's just keep agreeing on helping each other, you know? Kind of like that. I don't know. It sounds kind of cold-hearted. But at least I'm aware of it. People with disabilities tend to be incredibly selfish, and I'm not proud of that. But I don't get to play by the same rules as you do. So I have to figure things out for myself, which means I always have to look out for what am I missing. It kind of sucks. It makes for disabled people are just intrinsically selfish, needy people, and it's the self-aware ones like realize that they have these things and they just help build their life around it so it becomes palatable for other people to tolerate. So it's like, yeah, we recognize that about you, Phil, but like you said, you keep showing up. So cheers. No one else showed up today, so this beer's for you. That kind of shit, you know? Like it has value. Anyway, I think my muse is kicking, and I think she's punching stuff out of me. So, whew. I had this huge knot of. This is where I hold all my guilt in my chest and in my back at that point, like around my heart, and that started releasing the other day, and it's been unspooling poison through my body for a week now, and there was another large release yesterday, so I just dumped a fuck ton of toxins. Like you get a knot, and like evil things grow inside of that knot, and when it breaks up, it's all tar, and it's like thick, gunky, like resin goop. and all the nasty emotions that made you hurt inside of that space get washed out, and so you feel the vitriol of who you were. It kind of blends with the gunk that your liver has to start processing. It's like, oh, I feel horrible. It's like, this is because that's how it feels like to be a horrible person, buddy. You've been that horrible of a person for all this time. Now you can lighten up and be a better guy. It's like, ugh, I just want to go throw up for a while. I was like, I feel you, buddy. It's gonna be like that. You're gonna be okay. I don't know if any of this makes any sense. Yeah, yep. It's a weird sort of selfish. Like I'm willing to risk myself for the betterment of the team because I really rely on that team being there. So if the team goes down, I'm probably going down too. If I make a noble sacrifice effort to help the team get ahead with minimal losses, if I take damage, the team will back me up for my effort. If I fail and the team gets dusted, I was going to get dusted after the team or with the team anyway. So like when like a business, like a corporate events, when they ask for a volunteer, I throw up my hand almost reflexively. I'll do it. Like, I have no idea what's about to happen, but we could all be staring at each other nervously for a few seconds, or I can just get this shit going. So I volunteer. Like I'm always volunteering for tribute. So there's that kind of snarky, I could die at any time sort of attitude about it, which is where a lot of my snarky sense of humor comes from. Because if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna do it cracking wise. But I grew up on Die Hard and Lethal Weapon and just snarky talking heroes. So Jack Burton, Big Trouble in Little China, best snark ever. Got it. So it's so fast and quippy, like the characters bite at each other. It's like Aaron Sorkin. It's so great. It's just, but it's so acidic. I love it. So great. It's like their dialogue is the only thing that will give them MVP, and they all desperately want to be MVP. I found the Muzak channel here on Epidemic. I'm absolutely loving it. More coffee, obviously. Got my Thanksgiving dishes done, processed, the leftovers. Got some writing done. Solid day. I'm just trying to see if I like how this feels. Plus, I'm fencing in the cobblestone map space, so I can like select it like that. I mean, you can see the stuff spilling out, but once I have the full parameter enclosed, I can select inside of this space and then manipulate the color of the stone that's inside of it more easily. So this is a worthwhile task that I am performing. I'm not just wasting my own time. Oh, that's right, I have more rock to do. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm gonna finish this border, and then we're gonna finish this top rock. That stuff is sick. I'm gonna enjoy doing that. I forgot I had to do that still. That's gonna be great. There, see, now it's enclosed. So I can do like, here's the interior map. I can do stuff like this and not worry about where I'm at inside the line space, right? You know, see, it pans out. Anyway, so that's stuff I'm going to work on. I don't think I'm going to work on it right now because I remember the pedestals here that we're working on, or the top of the walls, and I'm actually most excited about that. So I'm actually going to be a liar here for a moment. Grab this. What the? Here. Danku. Let's buff this out a little bit. We'll come in. You guys might or might not be entertained to watch me fill in all this stuff, but I think I do definitely want to work on continuing with this texture and stuff. So let's get into that. So here's the black and white. Here's the basic color, and then here's the texturing that I'm putting in over it. We have the base color for all the walls. So now all we need to do is come in and do this texture. And I am digging how that looks a whole lot. What do you think? Does that shit look cool? Here, the brush that I'm using is our chisel. Chisel at 100%. And small. See? See, the chisel has these teeth, right? This. So you can see these little teeth effects that it's got going on. It's like a saw, right? So when I have 100%, like when I have a color here and I've got my saw teeth here and I pull, you can see that. How to do this? What's a good way to? So you can see little jags inside of there, but I can hear, and then I can hear. And then here, it starts to degrade it. Now it's starting to get all kind of like pixely, right? So I can get to like this little churning effect inside of here. But moving the brush around. There. So when I have it blended over other stuff, you know, I can come up with really interesting little textures to screw around with. Anyway, that's the idea. So that's what we're doing. And I grab just this dark color here. And let's get my window up here so we can make sure we know what color tools we're looking at. There we go. Oh my god, get the hell out of here, you smut. Smut be gone. Report. Report the prong. Gotta report the prong. I'm big enough to be smut worthy. That's awesome. Get out of here. There we go. All right, free and clear. Where are we at? Down here, down here. Already built out stuff here. Here. So I guess we're here. Cool, let's do it. It doesn't look as dark as I think it should be. That's weird. Let's do that for now. Do you ever paint illustration non-digital? No. I sketch all the time. Either pencil and paper or digitally, but color, since I don't see color, I can only paint in Photoshop. I don't know how the tools work. I've never developed them. Oops, I was on the wrong layer when I did that. There we go. Okay, back on track. That doesn't work. It has to be 100% or it's nothing. Doesn't look as dark. Like with the digital tools, with the RGB scale over here, I can at least know what color I'm working in, and I can put in that RGB and find examples of what I've got going on there to make sure it's what I like. But if it's meat space, I have literally no references other than maybe it says green on the bottle or something. From there, when I mix, I have no idea what the saturation is. I don't know what color I actually end up in. It's a heavy experiment, and it's too expensive for me to mess with. And since it's nothing, it would be expensive as a hobby, and I do this. I make and sell artwork as my hobby. I don't just make art and then smoke a cigarette or something. I smoke a cigarette after I get a sale. like the money that I get from the work that I produce justifies the time that I invest, the heavy amount of hours that I invest into doing this stuff at all. So it's just the idea of me picking up even just black and white paint. What's the point? It's just, yeah. No value. What up? Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, when Photoshop happened, it changed everything for me. I thought I was just gonna, you know, at best be a penciler at a comic book company or something. Like I'd never really be a painter. But then Photoshop happened, and I'm like, oh, New World Order. I've been watching Joy of Painting on you know, Bob Ross since I was 5, and I have a giant bucket of Legos in front of the TV, and Bob Ross would be doing stuff on TV, and I'd be playing with Legos, and I'd stop and stare at what he does, and it just kept cataloging my brain. It kept going, I wish I could do that. And I loved watching him, and I loved his attitude, and I loved the results. It was gorgeous. Like, I'll never be able to do that. But oh well. And then, you know, 15 years later, I started to realize I could. Here we are now. Very thankful for that. Now, I do hope I'm right about this world, this life being a game, because I'd like to get my color vision in and I die. Check out the artwork that I made, so you can see what all the hubbub was about. Looking forward to it. See? I like this rock texture, man. This stuff is cool. Super freaking cool. Takes a little while to do each one, but I love the result. And then we'll do it for the side mask material as well. Just use a different color. But I want to get this top layer in initially, so I can see like where I can see like I would have like a thing here. Like with this array here, I have like a thing like this that would then fill in like that. But I want to make sure I get the right color. So let's do the top part first, and then we'll get to that. And then I bet once I get that in there, I'll start having an idea about what I want to do about the actual color of the ground. So I'm going to drop these things in. I don't feel like I quite have control over this tool today. I was in a really interesting zone when I started developing this rock texture, and I need to have the muse grab the pilot seat because she knows how to do it. I'm not sure how it's done yet. I need to watch it a little bit longer. So I need my muse to sit in the seat. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking about while she's piloting, but work needs to get done. So The paint and smudge style feels almost like a learned skill from natural media transferred over. Well, most of my environment texturing I learned from watching Joy of Painting. Like this brush, this chisel brush that we're using right now was developed because I needed a way for me to be able to make mountain tops that I could reliably build without spending a stupid amount of time working on it. So I came up with this, and then I came up with this mountain texture brush here, so I could pick a lane like that. So I can create this little language here, and then I can take this chisel brush. I'm at 100% right now. I can pull at it and create these little effects inside of it. Like yonder. Quick tangent here. Like maybe because I dig the process, honestly, so I'll do it over and over again. There, so making a little mountain, happy mountain. Yeah, like that. Like, you know, that's like 2 minutes or whatever. But, you know, and the coloring's all wrong. No, I'd have to, like... Sorry, I was about to start putting snow on top of the fucking mountain. No, that's not what we're doing right now. But that same style, I learned that by watching how Rob would pull the paint and the kind of inconsistent markings that would come from it. Which is how I built this brush like this. It's got these weird little pegs in it and little dots that are missing from it that normally don't matter that much. But like when you're doing the smudge work that I'm doing, that's where all these little dot effects kind of dribble into, so the little holes in the pixel brush. So, but I had to learn how to do that by just watching a crap ton of Bob making mountains over time. So once I figured that out, it becomes like this is like a flattened topography of what that snow-covered mountain would look like if Bob was doing it. I can create this cobblestone chalkery, and you know, it's transferable skills, basically. There it is. She found it. Thank you, Muse. She knows what to do. Thank you, girl. She's so good. Easy peasy. She knows what to do. like these motions that I'm making, these gestures to create this texture effect. I can only currently do that because of this particular brush, but the end result of me doing this texture work is going to be the evolution into the next type of brush that I'm going to build. Like whatever I'm finding was inefficient and belabored about this process, I'll be able to catalog, and when I go to build, like I need a texture brush here, I'll have this backlog of data that I've accumulated here with these brush strokes to know, like if I have these little pits and pocks inside of my brush, it's going to be able to create these hollow spaces to help make these like air bubble effects for the corrosion on the stone here. So that may help me, like if I'm doing like, I don't know, like a rust, like a rust texture, like of a rusted surface that's getting pockmarked because of oxidization. That I may find at some point that I need a brush like that, and if I do, I'll have the catalog of, well, I know these brush strokes create this effect, so I'll be able to build a brush with that stuff already built into it, so that I don't have to. This is like a really complicated round brush. It's got all these weird jags and little sub pieces inside of it, but I could do this using just a basic round brush. It'd just take a lot longer because I'd have to work at a different level of resolution and a smaller pixel brush, and it'd be more gesture over a smaller area per movement, so it becomes less efficient. These brushes let you kind of attack multiple pixels at the same time, so they kind of like scale, as it were, into the detail work that you're doing. There you go. It feels pretty good. This is doing the work. Repetition. Over and over again. AI, just duplicate this texture thing for the rest of these shapes for me. I want to do something else. You bet, boss. And then it does the render for me, and I'm off working on something else already. I love this stuff, man. It's so fun. It's just so relaxing. Just kick back in the passenger seat and just let the art do itself. Ever consider making seamless textures and using them as a base to work on top of, like tiling? Tiling takes a while, and if it's not a good pattern, it'll feel repetitious, like really bad, like really bad early '90s TTRPG games on like Sega. Like they tile like crazy, and it looks horrible. So you have to have a 128 pixel tile at minimum, with enough internal patterns inside of that 128 pixel space that when it gets tiled out to a larger scale, that it creates odd, like 1/3 space, like 60, and like instead of being like a 60 pattern, or a 120 pattern, you actually have to have something more like a 70-20-30, 70-20-30 pattern that's more like a hex inside of a square. So you've got like this oscillating pattern of larger, smaller, mediums, larger, smaller, medium, that breaks up the repetition. So it's like 60 pixels every same shape, every 60 layers to then work on top of. It's yeah. Tiling is as tricky a creature unto itself as just doing this. So I guess yes, I have tried, and I don't find it to be any more efficient than hand rendering in this instance. Now, if I was building like a new castle interior space where the tiling was being taken care of regularly by staff, then I could realistically create a tiling effect that would be a tile, like, because the floor is tiled. So that totally works. But with this broken architecture, absolutely not. It does not make sense. I guess I could. I guess maybe your point may have been this was a fort, so it would have had tile flooring, and that is a very fair point, my friend. But it's been overgrown to the point where the tiling I have is probably these squares that you're seeing. Like, that's because some of these are like larger breakup. So I'm using the grid space itself, the 5-foot space, as like a semi-present grid space that actually exists inside of the game, while also not fully acknowledging that I'm drawing a line every 5 feet. So I'm kind of cheating the system in that sense. Maybe that's what you meant. In which case, yes, I'm absolutely abusing the system in that sense. It's like when I build this, like when I continue building the floor here, I can like build this out like that. For instance, it's the wrong color, but like this is the sort of thing I could do. I can like that, and then I can have this like this, and I can like be in here like that. Continue to pan out like that. Like those are things I can futz around with when I actually start getting serious about building the ground. But I don't want to get serious about building the ground until I finish up the tops, so I can finish off the sides, so I can use whatever I come up with the side here to help feed the language into what's supposed to be on the floor. Because the biggest problem is making sure that these walls stand out from the ground so they don't get muddled. Like, for instance, that's not necessarily very easy to suss out. What does this environment look like? Currently I have it faded down to 50% because I invested a lot of time in that, building it out and realizing that the color dichotomy isn't so good here. Like, if you don't have any color, it's pretty easy to read the map. But when we're introducing color into the map, I have to have a lot of dichotomy between the shapes so that you can see what's a structural obstacle that I can't get around versus what's ground environment. So I have to use a contrast to help make those things stand out against each other. In that sense, I like the black and white maps more than I like the color maps. But color maps on the VTT is kind of like it's like this is a PDF. Why don't you have a color map? And if the answer is I couldn't come up with a good color language that I wanted for the maps, that's a fail. So I kind of have to do it. So, which is great because it helps me figure out environment language a little bit more, that I can literally pick up and use the colors in a painting. Like when I do interior artwork for this adventure, I already have a color palette for the environment built into the maps that I've been building. So that'll help expedite the creation of the interior art. Amun-Ra! Uh-oh. Wrong color, Fern. Wrong color. Fur. I need to refill my glass. So give me a sec. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Big old jug of water. That'll keep me going. Do-do-do-do. What was I talking about? Texture patterns. Yeah, use this fill right. White noise or perlin noise. Fill the working texture afterward to add the final detail. Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's invalid. It just depends on what your workflow is like, I guess, and what your final results want to be. Ball. There we go. This guy here. Some of that crap line work. Where's X? What up? Just tuned in. Hey, Hornetico. Matt looks great. Yeah, thank you. So far, so good, eh? So far, so good. Working our way through it. Thanks for the little confidence, man. Hope you're having a good day. I've been enjoying my day off immensely. Rest assured, the instant I can afford to do this full time, I absolutely will. Probably move to Spain so my cost of living can drop down a lot. That'd be another good cost saving measure. Yeah, a lot to say right now. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't really. Excuse me. If this control panel sort of approach to building the pages works out, I'm not sure how much additional illustration space there's actually even going to be amidst the map data. This is going to be pretty. It may very well be locked down pretty tight for just one page. So we'll see what opportunities sit inside of the document for me to pepper in flavor art and character spot art and room stuff. I think some illustrations will be useful, like the teleportation chamber. I think that it would be like a useful illustration to have, just to better visualize what it is that people see, like when they look through the window or when they open the door. I don't think I'll be doing an illustration like for every room. That seems like overkill. There we go. Crap out of there. Here we go. Chop, like that.
Futzing with this over here. Not liking the angles. snap.
That can work. Let's see if that does. We're gonna try that style a little bit more. Maybe. Maybe, baby. Maybe that works. Using two ponders. There we go. Hey, cool. Hey, how about that? Someone's got something to say. Looking good. I like the chunkier blocks with more highlight pulled towards the center. Gives a greater sense of depth to the stone. Reads as taller stone. Oh, okay, cool. Good to hear. I just have to hit save here. I just locked up again. You're talking about like this strip here? Close that out and locked up. Relaunch. Yeah. Right on, man. Yeah, I kind of like that too. That is a hell of a compliment. Thank you. I think I like the language on this better too. I mean, I've done a number of bricks, but look how quick this is in comparison to what I've been doing. I kind of like this. Okay, well, let's lean into that. Wow, that really does look really, really good. know I just had a Thanksgiving feast and everything, but I really want to go to the Chinese food buffet that's nearby. I just want to be able to pick and choose amongst garbage food to pick from. Like I love cheese pizza dipped in hot and sour soup. I don't know why. I just freaking love that. I think there's something broken inside of me. I probably need help, but no, I think it's tasty. So tasty. Who's badooping at me? Bounce! It's my bounce alarm. I set alarms at random times. So it's the bounce. It's my bounce. It says bounce. That's all it says. It just says bounce. Whatever the hell I'm supposed to do with that. Oh yeah, this texturing is so much better. You are so right. Yeah, that looks cool. God, that's fast. Look at that. Jesus Christ, that's so fast. Always motivating to see you making progress on adventure design. I tend to put on these streams in the background while I work. It really does get me in the right mindset. Hey, I'm really happy to hear that, man. Thank you. It's it's kind of like a study hall, you know. Like I'm happy to talk about something if it grabs my attention, or if anyone has any questions or anything that I might have some sort of insight about. But otherwise, it's kind of people getting shit done. So. Clickety clackety, the keyboard occasionally, kind of chillax music in the background. It's a good setup. It's a good scene. So fast. It's so efficient. Oh my god, look at that. Easily these pieces fit in here. This chisel is so good. It just fits. When I still lived in Seattle, there would be these drink and draws that my neighbors would invite me to. There'd just be a slew of artists that would just go to a pub with a sketchbook and sit down and, you know, work on whatever their project was. Like some people would bring tablets and be working on their digital stuff. I always just brought a a pencil and paper tablet to just doodle stuff and just keep the meat space active for me. You know, I don't want to get too sunk into digital. There needs to be a little bit of balance. And the stuff I do on pencils, a lot of times it's just like musings and like just muscle twitch exercises and stuff. But I moved to Everett, which is actually it's like 20 minutes north of Seattle on the highway, but like an hour on the bus. So them doing me hanging out with that crew doing drink and draws is like I have to take an hour to get down there, and for the most part, unfortunately, most of the time it's just them, like more about them drinking and talking. It's much less of a study hour now. I really valued it because like there'd just be like 6 of us and there'd be just these stretches of silence, and it felt fantastic. I got a lot of energy off of it, but once it just started basically being people showing up and drinking and shooting the shit because they're friends, we're just shooting the shit, you know. Why don't we just do that? It's like, well, drink and draw can be either thing. It's like, well, it's not really drink and draw for shooting the shit. So I kind of bowed out because like there just wasn't, the creative energy got replaced with social fun, which, you know, social fun's important, and I'd show up. I was showing up until COVID, and then it all shut down, and I was like, such an inconvenience for me to get there, and then I don't know what's going to show up or what kind of a night it's going to be. It's just unstable. It's a shame. I'll find a way into either that group will change, or I'll find my way into another group. I want to get a Meat Space D&D team going as well. People I actually could sit down and play D&D like live, like at a table, you know, like at the kitchen. Like the gal cooking orders and stuff in the background and snarking at the bard, failing his attempt to flirt with the barmaid or whatever it is that they got going on. She won't play D&D, but she'll snark at people all day while they do it. She's a peanut gallery meanie. I love it. But yeah, I'd like to get a table again to build a group here. I have just so much VTT time. I got like 5,800 hours on Roll20. Like I do almost all my shit online. The Meat Space team I had with my coworkers, we're all remote workers now. We're all work from home. Like we never see each other in person. So this is amazing that they're committed enough to log out of the job and log into Roll20 with me for like an hour and a half or whatever when we play. Comments. Drink and draw concept sounds incredible. I may have to see it if I can organize something in my area with the artists I know nearby. Absolutely, man. Like there's a Seattle Facebook there's I don't know what city you're in, but you may have Facebook groups as well of just like people doing casual shit or like local artists and stuff. That's a good way to bend into it. But yeah, it's just word of mouth as well. Like if you know an artist, it's like, hey, let's go drink and grab a tablet. But yeah, it's just the motivation has to be there. Otherwise, it's just gonna end up being just it's just pub crawling. So you gotta know what your intention is up front. You don't have to be a Nazi about it. People don't want to freaking do it. They don't want to do it. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun seeing what people come up with and show up at, like what you're working on, what's going on. We had our team had a bunch of comic book artists, some Etsy commission artists. I was the only one that was actively doing D&D content production, but one of the guys from the Drink and Draw had been in one of our Eberron playtests, so that was cool. Because he's become a big 5e enthusiast. That's Albert. I don't know. Anyway, Albert's a cool guy, and he got into Eberron and the 5e recently, and during the pandemic. And he's been a comic book artist, like an indie comic producer, and he's just fallen in love with D&D. So he's doing cartography now, and he's just seeing it as a kind of like I do, as a creative outlet. To build something productive. Super cool to see that. Yeah, I'm into this. I think this looks cool. Nice. God, I love these angles. So great. That up a bit. Honestly, I'm not missing the irony here of us having that conversation about templates. And this stippling effect I've got going with this chisel brush is basically creating organic templates for me to be able to then go in and detail a little bit separately. There's a lot of individualization here, but I think it's that same sort of approach you were talking about earlier on. So kudos to you for calling that out, man. It's nature finds a way. But it's great. I'm loving this. This is awesome. Thanks for encouraging this path. I'm going to go through and swap out. Since these are so fast, I'm just going to go back through and break all the other ones. I mean, that's just kind of my life. Weird coincidences and shit just working out is kind of my MO. It's just I find I have to be humble enough to let the change happen without me feeling like it says something about me personally. It's like, no, I'm just part of the process. And if there's something happening here and I get to witness it, then I need to make sure I don't get in the way of what it is that can be witnessed. In this instance, it was that templating effect you were talking about. Made perfect sense, and here it is. this one I get to swap out. So let's just swap that out. It only takes a moment, right? The Great British Baking Show, the conclusion was last week, but the holiday special is already loaded up and ready to go. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna watch some British bakers tonight with my gal. That and the most recent episode of the new Peripheral comes out tonight, and I've got Paramount here at my place, and there's a Sylvester Stallone modern day gangster story that he's in that I'm enjoying a lot, actually. I forget what it's called, but he was a mobster that was in jail for 20 years, and he's now out of prison, and he goes back to his whatever his general is, or whatever it is, consiglione, or whatever word it is that they use in the mob. Anyway, he goes back to that guy, and the politics of the mafia changed a lot that he wasn't up to date on while I was in prisons. Now he's trying to figure out, where his loyalties are supposed to be at, and who's still going to back him up, and what can he do to reassert himself. And he's kind of out of the loop on life in general. So like, what's changed in 20 years that he kind of missed, and he's like 70. So he's just trying to hold on and figure out what the hell's going on. But the only life he really knows is beating people up and extortion. So, like, he took over a weed shop in Portland. He's basically just mugging them. He's just like, you guys have no security here. And he comes in, like, steals $500,000. Like, see, you got no security. I'll be back with some cameras. Like, we don't want to be your partner. He's like, I don't care. It's actually pretty funny. I don't know what the name of it is, but I think it's worth watching. I like Stallone in general. He's a pretty damn charismatic guy. I mean, he's beat the all hell of it. Like Johnny Trejo, he's got class. He's got class. Yeah, these things are ridiculously efficient to do now. The only time I ever watch TV is when my gal's around, because like the Netflix and chill culture is like real. She's like, disengage from the computer or snuggle with me. I'm like, okay, let's watch TV and get distracted. Cheers to that. So I end up watching a bunch of TV shows that I wouldn't have otherwise. Nah, this stuff looks so good. God, that's so good. That is so good. Oh my gourd. just looks great. Chisel brush doing work. Actually, I think that's actually pretty good like that. Oh my god, that looks so cool. That looks so cool. All right, let's fix this guy up. Yeah. Just be bold. All right, let's see how that feels. Yeah, it's the MVP today, dude. MVP. Wow, look at that. That's sick. Look at that striation, dude, and those levels. Man, that feels good. That feels really, really good. Look at that shit. That's pretty cool. No kidding. I mean, it's looking good, man. This is a good thing to establish. Those were cool looking, but I want to have a consistent visual language. resolved. Here. Get rid of that shit. Let's make it better. You better, you better, you bet. Yeah, it's just those 1, 2, 3, 4, those little bits. Cool, let's just do them. Shit, that's insane. Nice. There we go. Okay, so I guess the next thing we get to do is see how can we apply this newfound wisdom to the floor, and I think I have some fun ideas. So I just want to finish off the rest of these pedestals real quick. Oh, so good, so good. Wow, sick. Wow. Looking pretty good. Basically, the rule I've been using here is whatever the biggest, like whenever I'm putting a shape down, like whatever, like this space here, I can make this big, so I have all that going. Like like whatever the largest brush is, I can fit into the angle that I'm trying to drop the fatigued stone effect onto. Is allowing me to have a lot of diverse language in how things look, but it all has that consistent same language to it because I'm using the same brush. There, I think that's all of them. Is that all of them? Holy shit, dude, that took like no time. That was great. Cool. Okay, so let's get into real quick. Let's find our reference. There. That's what I want. See? Yep, that's what I want. So now I can. I don't think I actually have to do anything more than just do a little spot like that. Now I don't mind it bleeding through on the other colors because that's this kind of stone. So. That looks cool. I'm happy with that. Yes. Oh, that's particularly sick. That's a good one. That's all working out. Out. Check, check. Did I get all this already? Jesus Christ, I hammered through that shit. Yeah, well, you know, it's been a good day. It's been a very, very good day. I don't get a lot of... Ooh, wow. There's a thing I didn't do. Cool. Well, like almost every day, I didn't get as far as I wanted. I've still got 30 minutes left on track today. I'll be offline doing stuff as well, but I don't think you guys need to necessarily see all the stuff that I'm doing all the time. Cool. Here and here. Same color. I had to do a color check real quick there. I wasn't 100% that I was using the right color. I'm like, oh no. But nope, I'm good. Oh my god, that's almost the same color. I'm having cheeky monkey thoughts. Hold on. Let's do that. The risk I face right now is not knowing what they're so close to each other. I'm having a hard time telling the difference. Yeah, there's no easy way. There's no easier way I can think of to do it.
Let's go with that and that. I think I've been down here already. I think I got them all. I think I got them all. Did I get them all? Now you see the whole board. We can go here and here and here. Here, 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 here. Here, 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 Yeah, I think I got them all. Okay, cool. Now, this meshes in more because it's the same color. And now I've got this, so I've got the three colors going on the palette, and I bet that means I'm excited. I am excited because we did the work earlier. Be able to fill in this space here. Oops, wrong color. Whoa, 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 that needs to be in a totally different layer. That's a thought. Now I've got this consistency, I can have that stone separating them, and now I can use I got this water. Is that jiving?
Excellent. Texture-wise, the color look okay. And thank you for the input, by the way. Incredibly appreciated and necessary. I'm pulling the color off of stone references in that reference picture, so I'm fairly confident the color rate is okay, but never hurts to get a second opinion before I get too far down the road while I'm still just doing fills, you know? Got it. So it's not completely the same as this broken wall bit here. Okay. Yeah, it totally does. And thank you for the compliment. Yeah, I just wanted to finish up this rimming here, and then I am very much open to that idea.
Let's try. That's not so bad. Yeah, I think I like that. Oops, one more. You gotta be kidding me. Knock it off. Cool. Your guidance, man, I appreciate. We're almost done. Oh yeah, we got about 15 minutes left. The edges are still pretty rough, but I don't want to bore you guys with this particular detail. We're gonna be back tomorrow, noon Eastern time, if not sooner. We're going to continue with this map. But now I'm thinking we're going to get done pretty sick fast because we're finding better tools here for us to be able to express how these things are built. So I don't think I'm going to need 3 hours to fill in these gobbledy bits. We'll see. We'll see what needs to happen, and then we'll do it. So I gotta fill in this weirdness all throughout the water in here. Get this cleaned up. Fill in this bit. So there's some fiddly bits that I need to do. But I'm really liking where this is going. I'm gonna lock this. Wait. Lock. I wanna lock that. This short bit. No, actually I don't. I want to go and clean that up. I think I can effectively put these two guys in the trash can. I'm just filling puddles right now. Not too entertaining, I guess. Who knows? If I was spouting more long-toothed narbles, then it'd probably be more interesting. But my time is almost done, so I'm starting to cycle out. It has been and is and continues to rain throughout the course of this adventure. So like these little puddles and pop marks having water in them is appropriate to the story. I'm going to be doing this for a little while. I'm sorry, I think I just fell asleep. Like, what was it? What? I don't think I was talking. I just think I just snuffed out for a minute.
don't want more coffee because it's already like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll just have to endure. Somehow. Go get some pizza soup. I really should. I really should. I still got 10 minutes. Pizza soup sounds better and better, man. There's no way I'm going to get the girl on board with that idea, so I might have to punt that idea until Monday. I'm going to pitch it to her, but she's going to have to come up with a better food idea than pizza soup for me to dislodge from that. Pizza soup is a powerful force. Okay, that's a clean break, guys. I'll be back. I'll be back in, it's 4 o'clock now. 17 hours? That doesn't feel right. 4 p.m. Yeah, 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. That's 12 hours plus 5, so. Yep, 17 hours. I will be back. I hope you guys have a good night. If you're new and you're checking this place out, like and subscribe so I can keep boosting up and get more people checking this out with us. I got books for you to look at, free previews below. I've got a lot of stuff on my Patreon for you guys to take a look at. That's playtest content I've been doing. Follow me on Twitter if you want to catch signal when I'm out there, if you aren't on YouTube at the time. And I'll be back. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to next. So thanks a lot for your help, guys. Really killing it. I really appreciate it. And we're just gonna keep building together. So see you guys on the other side. Bye.